Hey, thanks, Jamie. That's a wonderful introduction. I just want to start by just giving a little bit of the reason why I'm here. And the biggest reason I'm here right now is because I got sick with cancer and needed to catch up. And so Xperia gave me that experience to catch up. And I'm ever grateful for that. So thank you so much for that. What I'm going to talk about today is becoming 1% better. And so my wife and I have always done courses we've been married 42 years. I think that's about as old as you are, Jamie. And for 42 years, we've always made self-improvement a big deal. So we always wanted to be better as a couple and as individuals. And so now, what about 1% better in your business and in the things that you do? And so I'm a big believer in CANI, which is a phrase that was coined by Anthony Robbins. It stands for constant and never-ending improvement. And if you live that in your life, you'll become a better person, a better producer, a better executive director, a better SFA, or wherever you are right now, you can get a little bit better 1% at a time. Let's think about that. What if you increased your production, your best self by 1% every day? Well, I come from England. I grew up in England, and then we moved to Canada way back in Centennial year. So if you're doing math, then I can tell you what it is. So Great Britain has always been a passion of mine. And so this is a little story. Darren said, tell stories. So the national bicycle racing teams of Great Britain had been the laughing stock of the cycling world. They were basically mired in mediocrity. So what that means is everything was pretty casual. They didn't really do anything. The British riders had managed only a handful of gold medals over 100 years, and nobody had ever won in 110 years the Tour de France. So was the plight of the British riders that some bike manufacturers even refused to sell their bikes to the Brits because they figured that would sully their reputation. And despite devoting enormous resources into cutting edge technology and every newfangled training program, nothing worked. Nothing worked at all until 2003, when a small, largely unnoticed change occurred that would change their trajectory in British cycling forever. And so this is what happened. They hired a coach. And, we have a coach here, Coach Jamie, right? And so that is a wonderful thing. And unlike previous coaches where they wanted to go in there, make a change instantly, overnight, this guy started looking at what little things can we change? What little habits can we create that would make a huge difference? And what can we measure that we can become better and better and better at? And so they started to do that. And as they did that, they got small gains. They changed things in their kit fabric. So that's the fabric that they wore, so that it went through the wind a lot better. And so they didn't create some drag. And they continue to get 1% better every single time. And as a result, they started to improve. And so how did they improve? My slide isn't showing here very good, but here's what happens. So as they did that, they started to win. And go back one. Yeah. Okay. Enoch's helping me out here. And so as they started to win the Tour de France. They won that contest 6 times. They started to win in the Olympics. And they became, in 2016, they won in all categories that they were in. They won 14 gold medals. They took the medal championships. That's this one. And so they continued to get better and better and better. And so what happened was they got better and better. And so they began to be a star, the champions of the world. Actually, in the next 20 years, they were the ones to compete with when it came to cycling. Why? Because they made a 1% change. There we go. That's perfect. So they started to do things different, and they started to make a difference. So I'm thinking about this in my life. Remember, I said that I took courses my whole life, and I've tried really hard to become better and better at what I do. In our business, we become better and better at what we do as well. And are you done there?
Almost there. Yeah. Almost there.
So as I look at that, I go, okay, how do I become 1% better? I'll just change slide. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we got to go through a bunch here. But this is what they did. They became champions. And so you think of your life and how can you become a champion? How can you become a Mauro? How can you become a Frank? You know, every one of them started somewhere. I started somewhere. I started in this industry with WFG. I didn't know anything. I just lost my business. I started at absolute zero. We were very good at selling things. We sold our house. We sold our cars. We literally lived on garage sales for about 6 months while I got this business going. What did we sell? All the product that we used to have in our store was in our garage, and we sold that out every Saturday. And that's how we went forward. But what happened now is, what about you? Can you become 1% better in absolutely everything you do in this business? Can you become 1% better at being a presenter? Can you present just a little bit better? Can you remember the words just a little bit better? That's what's going to drive you forward. And it's going to make a huge, huge difference in your life. I look at the things that we've accomplished over the last little while, and it's phenomenal. You know, I pretty much given up on this industry before I talked to Darren, and I was going, you know what? I think I'm going to try something else. Maybe I'll just retire. And then when Darren called and we chatted and we closed a couple of restaurants, that's when everything started to fall into place. This is interesting. The compound interest of self-improvement. You've heard about compound interest. We talk about the rule of 72. So what if you got 1% better every single day? Do you realize that you'd be 37% times better by the end of the year? That's phenomenal, right? But what if you got 1% worse? Well, you don't want to go that direction. You want to go up. I want you to think about this. Every effort we make to change, so every little bit of effort that we put in makes a difference, no matter how tiny it seems to us. So it might be just getting up 2 minutes earlier. You know, when I've changed things, I've done it incrementally. I haven't just gone out and changed the world. I've done little things at a time. You might make the biggest difference in your own life by changing just a little bit every day, changing 1%, making a difference in the lives of others and especially in your own life. I think of this. Could you imagine this? I want you to think about this. If you could see for a minute the person your creator meant you to be, you would never again be the person that you are. Think about that. That's profound. If you could see the person your creator meant you to be, you would never again be the person you are. Go be 1% better every single day, and you will reach those goals. You will reach your full potential, and you'll become a leader, and you will have the income and lifestyle that Mauro has. Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. Love talking to you.
Hey, if you like this video or any of the other videos that I have on my channel, stay tuned. We have so many more coming, but I want to make sure that you're in the know, that you know when they're coming. So please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell.